Today we're going to create a block style business letter on here. Now the first thing, I've opened Word and I've gone to a new document and just chose a blank document, and this is what it comes up. But the first thing I want you to notice is I have my ruler bar turned on, and if you don't have your ruler bar turned on, you should begin using it. It's a very useful tool. So to turn it on, under View, you have the little ruler bar right there, and just check that. So I'm going to go back to the Home tab. The other thing about a block style business letter is that we use Times New Roman 12 point. Well, that's not what Microsoft default is anymore. It's Calibri 11. Calibri 11 is a sans serif font, and it's great for electronic, but for printed documents, the block style business, typical block style business letter is Times New Roman 12 point. So the other thing that Microsoft did is they added space every time you hit the Enter key. There is space after the paragraph. So before I get started, I can do one of two things. I can choose no spacing style and it'll get rid of that space. Now when I choose this drop down, you can see there's the remove space is gone, because I only have the option to add space. But if you're on the normal tab, you can use I just opened the paragraph dialog box. You can use that remove space there, or you can see here, I can remove the spacing after the paragraph here to 0 and make it single space. Microsoft puts a tiny little bit more between just a single space. It's this 0.108. I'm just going to cancel that. So that was the dialog box that opened when I hit the paragraph dialog box right there. So I can remove the space here. If I change it to Times New Roman, and I'm going to type TIM and it pops up, Times New Roman 12 point, and then I hit no spacing, it wipes it back and goes to Calibri. So you want to choose what you want to do with the spacing before you change your font. So I just use Times New Roman, it's right there. I'm going to use my Grow font right there. I tend not to use this drop down anymore unless I'm actually putting in some half-spaced font, which, you know, is unusual, but it's possible. So I'm going to remove space after the paragraph, and I'm going to put my show hide on. And my show hide will tell me some non-printing characters. So every time I hit the Enter key, you get this paragraph mark. Every time you hit the space bar, you get a little dot. And if you hit the Tab key, you get this arrow. So I'm going to start off with my show hide visible. It gets a little visually busy if you leave it on, but I'm going to type the letter. And you're going to type the letter also. Now I probably type a little faster so you can stop and type, and I will stop and create the whole letter and then talk a little bit. You don't want to watch me type the whole thing. So today is September 11th, so I start to type September and it pops in there, and so it says press enter to insert, and when I hit the space bar it says, oh, do you mean September 11th? Oh, September 11th. Oh, okay. Let's take a moment to remember our fallen compatriots, our other Americans on September 11th. Okay. All right. So now I'm going to hit the Enter key a couple of times. You want 2 to 3 blank spaces. So if I hit the Enter key 4 times, I leave 3 blanks above. And this is to Miss Joni Jones on Almond Street in Los Angeles, California, 90040. And then I want 2 enters, and then I create the salutation. I'm going to put a link in this video to the Purdue OWL, the online writing lab, OWL, O-W-L. So if you want to know more about different styles of business letters, you can visit the Purdue OWL. It's a great site, and learn more about block style, modified block, these different kinds. Also in your textbook, the Appendix A, I believe, talks about block style business letters. Okay, so I'm going to type, and I'm going to stop this for a second and then finish typing this. Okay, so here's the letter finished typing. I'm going to turn off the show hide for a minute. And you can see that I have some errors. Now, this is not the word Los Angeles, but it is a word, so I get a blue squiggly underline. So I'm going to right click and see what comes up. And it says, oh, do you want Los Angeles? Well, yes, I do. I don't want angles. That still doesn't look right. Los Angeles, okay, that might be right. And then I have a red squiggly line over here. Now, a red squiggly line does not mean it's misspelled. In this case, it is misspelled, but that's not what it means. It means that word is not in the dictionary. So what if your last name was U-O-R and that word is not in the dictionary? So when you right click, it says, oh, did you mean R or did you mean or should we add this word to the dictionary? Well, in reality, I did it wrong. So it's our. Ask you to be willing to come to our. I hope you worked into. So here's a typo. It didn't flag it at all. Into should be one word. So I'm going to close that up. And look at this. Ha and E all by itself. Okay. So do not trust Microsoft to find your errors. Please proofread your errors carefully. Proofread your documents carefully. Usually I read it out loud. I've been doing this for years, but I still read all of my documents out loud. So, dear Miss, as much as okay, so that's good. Now I left 3 blank spaces for the signature because the signature is going to be big, or most people's. And then, oh, I should not have that there. So then when you end, you'll notice that I did not put a space after a period and then hit the enter key. I just hit the enter key. You need to get used to not adding extra things, especially when you start in on your projects in SimNet. The other thing you'll notice is that I used a colon here. And a colon is for business documents. If you were writing your grandma, you know, hi grandma, how are you? Or dear grandma, you would use a comma. We always use a comma after sincerely. And then we need the typist's initials here. So I'm going to put that back on. And the typist's initials are your initials. So my initials are CW. And because I've said I have included the dates of our meeting for the next year, there's something enclosed in this letter. So I'm going to hit the enter key and type enclosed. Now, Microsoft tried to capitalize my initials, and I don't want that capitalized. So I'm going to go back and make it lowercase. We have a feature in here turned on called, capitalize the first letter of each new sentence or paragraph. And because this was sitting by itself, it thought that that needed to be capitalized. If I wanted to turn that off, I would have to go to File, Options, and look at some of the things that are probably under proofing in here. Ignore uppercase. It should be somewhere in here. I'm not going to go through all of them and see. It might be on the advanced. But anyway, there will be a little check mark next to capitalize the first letter of each sentence. So that's under the File Options tab. Okay, so this letter's done. Yours should look like this. If we had letterhead, I would go down a couple. I would go down 3 or 4. If you've taken the typing class here at Clark College, you know to go down 3 or 4. Here at the college, our letterhead is so big that we have to sometimes go down further than that, depending on how big we have a big logo. So anyway, whether you go down 4 or 5, it doesn't matter. You decide. But you're going to upload this to me in Canvas. So I'm going to save this. Now I haven't saved it at all. It says document 1. Oh, I didn't talk about the font dialog box either. I was trying to keep this under 10 minutes, but I want to talk about the dialog box for a minute. Some of the things you're going to learn in this first couple chapters of Word are about some of the special effects and about the advanced. So when you get further into Word and really want to make your document sing, you need to start using and experimenting with these kind of things. I'm not going to do them in here, but I want you to understand that they're here and that you should play around with them and see what happens when you use them. There's also text effects. You can see there's so much. These programs are so huge, and we are using but a very, very tiny little bit of it. So I'm going to either go to File, Save As, or I can go Save Here, and it will take me to the Save As dialog box because I've never named it. If I had named it somewhere, then it would save, when I hit that icon, it would save it into the same place with the same name. But because I haven't given it anything yet, it tells me, okay, open the Save As dialog box, and where do you want to put it? You can put it on your home computer if you have a OneDrive. I have a OneDrive for Clark College. I have a OneDrive personal. I have a SharePoint site. I don't use this. I rarely use this. I think I'm supposed to. I tend to save most things to my PC. We have our own drives here at Clark. Each employee gets a space. But anyway, I'm going to browse. I'm just going to throw this to the desktop, and you're going to name it your initials dash letter, so that when you upload it into Canvas, I see your initials first and it matches the place where it's been uploaded. Okay, so I'm saving it to the desktop. There you go. And then I'm going to pause for a second and open Canvas and see where you would upload it. Okay, here I'm back, and here's our Canvas class, and you're going to go to assignment sheet 2, and you can see the term hasn't started, so my I cannot unlock this. I tried to unlock it, but because the classes haven't opened yet, it won't let me. But you'll have a button up here that says upload. So you're going to upload this in the assignment module 2, assignment sheet 2 area. So you have space to upload one thing, and that's going to be it. All right. So that's it. Create this letter, upload it into Canvas. I look forward to seeing your block style business letter.